Welcome to Nordic Market News, Friday, December the 9th. We summarize the most market-affecting news every Friday. Looking at each country's stock market index, the past week has been positive for all Nordic markets. Today has been small to no movements. Helsinki 25 plus 2.6% this week, or minus 0.2% today. OMXS 30 in Sweden 3.2 this week, or also minus 0.2 today. OSCBX in Norway 3% up, or around 0 today. Copenhagen 20 1.6 this week, or 0.2 plus today. And the overall index of Nordic 40 up 3.5% this week, or minus 0.1 today. In Sweden, Fingerprint Cards released its prognosis for 2016 yesterday, pre the company's Capital Markets Day. The prognosis revised several financial key posts, such as the operating result total for 2016. The prognosis decreased from 7.2 to 7.5 billion Swedish kronor to 6.6 to 6.8 billion. This is after Fingerprint repeated their previous stronger prognosis just a couple of weeks ago in the end of October. This has upset the analysts, asking the question, is Fingerprint not in control over their business, and do they not understand their market? One anonymous analyst said this shattered the confidence completely for Fingerprint for the 2017 prognosis coming up. The stock has taken a severe beating over the last couple of months and dropped 10% on yesterday's news. So far this Friday, it's down 4%. Today is also Capital Market Day for telecom giant Tele2, starting at 1 p.m. The company stock has dropped significantly during the week due to a statement from CEO Alison Kyrkby about a too high dividend price ratio compared to the company liquidity. Tele2 will continue to be a so-called income stock with a high level of dividend to the shareholders, says the CEO. In an interview with Nyhetsbyrån Direkt, but Tele2 requires a capital structure to back up their strategy. In Finland, negotiations for Ericsson has been concluded. The company is to let go 71 people instead of 175 that was under revision previously. This is part of Ericsson's global saving plan to come to terms with a problematic spending level for the company. The positions will be cut from Kyrkslätt and Uleåborg, while a department for product development will be placed gradually in Uleåborg. Ericsson still has more than 800 workers in Finland. Also, major bank Nordea is looking positively on the upcoming years for Finland. The bank has revised their prognosis for 2018, predicting a better level of economic recovery than earlier this year. According to the prognosis, the Finnish economy will experience a 1% growth next year and a 0.8% ditto 2018. Increased domestic demand and building rate is two key driving factors of this improvement. And to Norway, outdoor retail store XXL appointed their CEO for XXL Sweden, Andreas Stenman, just 4 months ago. Today, the company announced his resignation. Jannik Blomsnäs is appointed a new CEO. She has been the vice president of XXL Sweden previously and has had an interim position as XXL Sweden CEO. The company stock is down about 1% on Friday's opening trade. Core inflation for Norway in November increased 2.6% year over year. The expected level of increase was 2.9%. Core inflation is CPI, Consumer Price Indexed, adjusted for energy, raw materials and fees. And CPI for Norway in November year over year was 3.5%, compared to expected 3.6%. In Denmark, from the turn of the year, customers at DAB, Danske Andelskassers Bank, will be able to buy pension products from Swedish pension giant Skandia. DAB CEO Jan Pedersen says the bank has since long looked for a partner who could offer their business customers a solid pension and insurance product. Skandia, on the other hand, says the company plans to expand during the upcoming years, and strengthening distribution is vital for the expansion plans to be fulfilled. A new leading stock market index is planned for Copenhagen. Nasdaq announced in a press release how today's Copenhagen 20, or OMXC 20, is going to be changed to Copenhagen 25, OMXC 25. The companies included in the index will be the same as Copenhagen 20, adding Nordea, Tryg, Topdanmark, FLS Smith, and NKT Holding. Copenhagen 25 starts in 10 days from now, December 19th, and is estimated to be the new leading index within 12 months from the start. And finally, we look at the political events in Europe the past week affecting the European and Nordic markets. In Austria, last weekend, a Green Party president was elected instead of alt-right party FPÖ, making the European Union as well as the markets sigh of relief. Meanwhile, Italy's Prime Minister Matteo Renzi was not as fortunate with the country's referendum last Sunday. Renzi wanted to change the constitution in the Italian parliament and said if he were to lose the referendum, he would resign. Well, Renzi did lose, and Italy is now in a case of a political limbo. Political experts point to populist party led by comedian Beppe Grillo to challenge the traditional parties for power in Italy. Beppe Grillo has said that Italy would leave the euro if he were to be elected prime minister. Also, France is conducting their primary elections before their national election next year. Extreme right-wing party Front National, led by Marine Le Pen, is yet another anti-EU voice with tailwind in the president polls. However, Republican president nominee François Fillon is far ahead of Le Pen in the polls. And finally, the EU Central Bank, ECB, left the prime rate unchanged at 0 this week's prime rate meeting. That was the headlines for today's program. We will be back again next week with more Nordic market news. Thank you for watching.